The city snowplows won't be as dreary this year thanks to some JCPS students. Over $600,000 worth of improvements are now available for use at Berrytown Park. And we continue our Metro Council members' profiles with District 25 Councilman Khalil Bachon. All that and more on Louisville This Week. I'm John Ramsey, Director of City Partnerships. During his weekly press conference, Mayor Greenberg shared how the city is preparing for winter weather.
Because our people, our businesses, our schools, all need our streets to be clear and safe in every kind of weather. But we are ready, and our snow team is ready. They're here with us today because we know that winter weather is just around the corner. My colleagues on the snow team are on call 24/7 and ready to mobilize at a moment's notice in response to winter weather. Last winter, our snow team responded to a total of 5 significant snow and weather events. This included a major storm where we had icy conditions and sub-zero temperatures for several days in a row.
So what's the scoop? We got a light La Nina pattern. What does that mean? That means it's going to get cold in mid to late December to early January. That's the prime time for that, what's that called? What's that S word? Oh, snow. It's going to be snow. Could have a little snow there. But it looks like below normal. Gets warm in mid to late January and warm in February. So our average is 13.4 inches, so I expect it to be a below normal year. How about that?
When our snow team is deployed during significant wintry weather event, we have an upwards of 160 pieces of snow fighting equipment, including payloaders, large trucks, snow plows, utility trucks, and other heavy equipment. And though the equipment is essential to get the job done, the most important asset is our people. Upwards of 200 team members from dispatchers, mechanics, truck drivers, heavy equipment operators, administrative personnel, IT, and GIS professionals all come together working around the clock with one goal: to ensure the public is safe and our roads are safe for travel.
The winter snowplows may not be everyone's favorite thing to see, but this year some of them will be better looking thanks to some JCPS students.
With an opportunity like this, these are things that these students will always remember. This is something that takes them out of the classroom, gives them life experiences, and will give them something to talk about for a while. How much fun was it to decorate these snowplows? Very fun. We got some thumbs up too.
So what I helped paint was the Falcon, and I also did a hand print with the paint. The best part is getting to where I get to do a bunch of details.
We chose to paint a regular old snow, usually what most kids would be doing during the winter time. Snowball fights, sledding. It was really fun. It was fun because it was collaborative. Everybody got to paint on it.
I got to help paint the snowflakes and the handprints, and it was really fun. We got to stick our hand in paint and put it on there and put it where we wanted to. I love art, I love drawing, I love being free with drawing, just expressing how I feel.
Well, I am not a snow lover. I am a fierce advocate and supporter of all of our kiddos, and so I can't wait to see these snowplows out on the roads this winter. I know that they will give us all a smile when we drive by them.
Mayor Greenberg and Metro Council President Marcus Winkler were on hand for a ribbon cutting at Berrytown Park.
If it seems like we have a lot of announcements at parks, that's correct, because we are having a lot of announcements at parks, because we are doing so much to continue to invest in parks, to continue to improve in neighborhood health. Here at Berrytown, in the northeastern part of our city, in the southwestern corner of our city, and every point in between.
Here in this park, we've added a new basketball court, which you're standing on now, new walking path, new playground equipment, and all of those things were enabled through the American Rescue Plan Fund. So you see the ARP money put into practice and things that our citizens can enjoy every day and things that will have a lasting impact for years to come.
The annual Kentucky Veterans Day Parade was held in downtown Louisville. Welcome once again to the 2024 Veterans Day Parade. This is our 14th annual, And I have just gotten word the parade has stepped off at 7th and Jefferson Streets, correct? The Republic Bank tank. That's a bank tank, isn't it? That's beautiful. Good to see you guys up there. All right. Students all across, yeah, they sound great. You can watch the parade in its entirety right here on Metro TV. The election, who won, who lost, and what it means was the topic for this month's Louisville Forum.
Today's program, the election, who won, who lost, and what it means. This is contemporary, controversial public policy issues that impact Louisville. This is the heart of what the Louisville Forum is all about. I'm really grateful you guys are all here, and we have 4 great speakers from varying perspectives to talk about what happened last week. Sitting to my left here, Iris Wilbur Glick. Sitting next to Iris is Isaiah Kim Martinez, Philip Bailey, and last but not least, Mike Ward. Our 4 speakers come with differing viewpoints and political perspectives.
You can watch the Louisville Forum right here on Metro TV every Wednesday at 7 a.m. and p.m. During the month of November, Metro TV is celebrating Louisville Metro government workers who are also veterans.
Frank L. Porter, 7 years in the United States Marine Corps from 1985 to 1992. C licensed man. I'm a Gulf War veteran, served during the Gulf War. I was in the infantry in the Marines. The military helped pay for my school, and I just wanted to travel. So I've been to 4 different continents, 22 different countries. I've been all around the world. Did 3 overseas tours. Enjoyed myself. We worked hard. We played hard.
Thank you, buddy.
Gracias. I appreciate you. Learned so much in the military for leadership because you deal with people from different parts of the country, different backgrounds, different cultures or whatnot. As a leader, you have to be able to adjust to whoever you're leading. No 2 people are the same. So you really have to make sure that you can relate to anyone. Whatever problems come your way, your training that you received, you able to use that training, that leadership training, management training, you able to use that to where it benefits you in the long run. My degree is public administration. So when I applied at Louisville Metro, I applied for an administrative position. Then I was promoted to supervisor. I was a recycling coordinator, and now I'm the supervisor at Waste Reduction Center. When you're dealing with solid waste, you're dealing with the public, different parts of the city. It really helps you improve on your social skills and as well as interpersonal relationships. Maintained a lot of interpersonal relationships with the people I've met. These right here are build accounts. Just enjoy being at Louisville Metro government. Louisville Metro has definitely been wonderful to myself, to my family, and I really enjoy my time here.
The annual Festival of Faiths was held in downtown Louisville, bringing together spiritual leaders, renowned scholars, and creative thinkers from around the globe to celebrate various themes around the world's vast spiritual traditions.
Welcome to Louisville. Welcome to the Cathedral. Welcome to the festival.
This is our 28th year.
What a joy it is to be with you today, gathered in the spirit of unity, understanding, and connection.
The Festival of Faith is a multi-faith, multicultural event that happens every year. We open with this glorious service here in the Cathedral of the Assumption. This year it's about imagining, and so what we're trying to do is remind ourselves about what are those parts of our human nature that are full of creativity and full of potential and full of promise, and how does our faith support us in expressing that?
Connecting back into our heart.
We have a combination of like a speaker series, a plaza that's full of immersive events, opportunities to work with community partners. I don't know any other place in our city that invites people in to talk about things that are meaningful and also sometimes awkward and sensitive and complicated, especially when you're talking about faith and interfaith relations. Louisville has a reputation that goes worldwide for hosting these conversations. We bring in speakers from around the world. We should be proud that Louisville hosts this.
Mayor Greenberg joined with local responding agencies to give an update following the fatal explosion on Payne Street that destroyed a factory and left several buildings damaged.
Thanks to all of our local, state, and federal partners who are here with us today and who have been working since this explosion occurred yesterday afternoon. However, it saddens me to report that we received word late yesterday that there are 2 victims who have passed away as a result of this explosion. And I want the families of the 2 victims to know that the hearts of all Louisvillians are with them.
So we knew right away that we were dealing not only with a fire, but also a structural collapse and also a hazardous materials incident.
We initiated a shelter in place. We did knock on doors. We only evacuated about a 1.5 block area to the people that were directly involved, and it was mainly because they couldn't shelter in place because their windows were broken out due to the explosion.
We're monitoring the area. We're monitoring not only the air, we're monitoring any of the runoff because the sprinkler systems had activated. We have our fire hoses to help extinguish the fire. We monitor that for any type of other chemicals. We did not find any evidence of any release of anything hazardous.
Some individuals yesterday who lived near the explosion site were displaced as a result of the explosion. I also want to thank the American Red Cross that is with us here today. They were at the hospital yesterday with some of the victims and their families to provide resources to them as they do after disasters such as this.
Going forward, when you look at this scene will still be in our control for some time going forward because there's going to be an investigation to exactly what happened.
ATF's role is well defined. We're providing technical assistance to the city to help determine the exact cause of the incident. And we'll make sure that Louisville has all the tools they need to get the job done.
We're asking folks who live around the Payne Street location and whose homes may have been damaged, please do not remove any debris that's in your yard. Please do not touch any of the damage. We ask that you contact MetroSafe immediately at 574-2117.
During a special ceremony on Veterans Day, Butler High School was named the first Purple Heart High School in the United States.
I'm the past, and your parents and teachers are the present, and you are the future.
I do appreciate you and everything you've done for us.
You only have peace through strength.
We are delighted you could join us today. We will have a short program led by JROTC cadets.
Please stand up.
They did everything in their power for us to be able to sit here safely and go to school. And so I think it's very important for us to remember what they did.
Bestow the honor of being a Purple High School to Butler Traditional High School.
Butler Traditional High School was named the first in the United States Purple Heart High School.
So it's a really big honor, and especially me, since I'm running the program as the Master of Ceremony. It's a really big honor for us and everyone at the school.
After that, the veterans will be fed lunch.
I ended up spending just 3 years, but I got wounded twice.
I don't turn 18 till September, so I got to wait till August of next year to go.
Whatever you decide to do, continue what you're doing now, because you all have worked really hard, and it was impressive what you all have been able to do here.
Best decision I made.
It's a big deal for veterans to be able to communicate, particularly with the younger generation.
It is wonderful. I'm so happy and proud of these kids.
Thank you. We couldn't do some of the stuff we do without you.
I've had a most blessed day today.
Mayor Greenberg took part in a traditional push-in ceremony with the Louisville Fire Department to launch their newest piece of equipment.
So today we're celebrating the arrival of a new fire truck to this firehouse here on River Park Drive in West Louisville. It's been serving the people of West Louisville since 1891. We'll continue to invest in the Louisville Fire Department as they continue to serve all of us.
This is a long-held celebration that unifies the fire department with the community. This tradition dates back to the horse-drawn fire equipment and continues to symbolize the unity and dedication of our firefighters.
This is a proud day for us. This is a very traditional, historic firehouse. I've had the opportunity to, I was stationed here in Battalion 1 for a year. I was worked out of here a lot when I was a new firefighter many years ago. In our way, when we think of old truck 4, I think of the midship mount, which is a couple of trucks ago. But thanks to Seagrave, we've got this impressive hook and ladder that we can bring down here to help the citizens of West Louisville. So right now, what we're going to do, I promise you, this 60,000-pound apparatus, we will be able to get it if you look around. We've got a lot of big, strong backs. But I invite not only firefighters, community members, everybody to join me over here, and we're going to push this apparatus in.
All right, let's go.
Stellar Snacks held an official ribbon cutting for their new pretzel plant in West Louisville.
We're here today to cut the ribbon and celebrate what we believe is the single largest investment and job-creating project to land in West Louisville in at least the last several decades. Stellar Snacks is a thriving maker of pretzel snacks that is owned and operated by a really special mother-daughter duo, Elizabeth and Gina. We're really grateful to you both. Just about a year ago, we gathered here outside to celebrate the incredible announcement. A $137 million investment right here in the heart of West Louisville. They're creating 350 full-time jobs in the coming years for the folks in this community. And while announcements, they're the hope, they're fun. Groundbreakings are the progress. It's the ribbon cuttings where you see the reality. Already, as of today, they've hired more than 50 employees at this facility.
We continue our Louisville Metro Council member profiles with information on District 25 Councilman Khalil Betshon.
Hello, my name is Khalil Betshon. I proudly represent District 25 in Southwest Louisville. I was elected to the Metro Council in November 2022. Took my oath of office in January 2023. My roots are firmly planted in South Louisville, where I grew up, attended PRP High School. Afterwards, I chose to embark on an entrepreneurial journey and establish a small business on Dixie Highway. Today, I am both owner and operator Khalil's Restaurant, Bar, and Catering, which is successfully serving our community since 2012. I'm deeply committed to our community and actively involved in various organizations, including Southwest Community Ministries, Dixie Area Business Association, Riverport Business Association, Louisville Independent Business Alliance, Kentucky Restaurant Association, and Business Networking International. Additionally, I dedicate my time to volunteer work such as coaching baseball at Prairie Village and organizing relief efforts to support our military, law enforcement, families facing personal and community hardships. As a Metro Council member, my primary focus has been on enhancing our infrastructure, bolstering public safety, and promoting effective land management. I am honored to serve on the Planning and Zoning Committee, as well as dedicated to parks and sustainability and economic development. In my personal life, I, along with my wife and 3 sons, actively participate in Southeast Christian Church, Southwest Campus, further solidifying our connection to the community we serve. District 25 is situated in the southwest region of the county. Its southern border runs along the Gene Snyder Expressway from Dixie Highway to Newcutt Road. The northern border is just south of Iroquois Park. The district extends east to west from Dixie Highway to Naval Ordnance, passing laterally through parts of Prairie Village and Auburndale. District 25 is home to the Southwest Regional Library, the Southwest branch of the YMCA, and many great businesses, and is future site of Windsor Park. To reach me or learn more about District 25, you can either call my office at 502-574-1125 or send an email to khalil.batshon@louisvilleky.gov.
On this edition of Metro Council Chronicles, 11th District Councilman Kevin Kramer talks with a resident about her journey to convert a traditional lawn space into a more natural and native area, all within a newer section of the city's Code of Ordinances.
Hi, I'm Councilman Kevin Kramer. Welcome to Four Seasons, District 11. I want to share with you today a little bit about what an ordinance that we passed in 2022 makes possible. And I really want to answer some questions for neighbors and folks who wander through and see what's happening in the yard here. At first there were some really serious questions about, oh my gosh, she's tearing things up and moving things around, and what's this going to look like when she's finished? And I think if you take a look, you'll be really satisfied. It's really pretty, and it matches up precisely with what we had intended in 2022.
Welcome.
Isn't that really nice?
Thank you. It's been so fun. It really has. Seeing like the little seeds that I planted and growing into actual plants. And I can like grab some dill for dinner. I have a couple little herb pots.
So in 2022, we passed an ordinance that would allow for folks to do their front yard the way that a lot of folks were already doing their backyard. But you learned about that ordinance pretty quickly.
I did. As I learned about the ordinance is also when I got into native plants. So it's been a lot of learning and a lot of community interaction to get what other people are doing and what makes sense, and still do it within the bounds of the ordinance. And also, it's really important to me too that the neighborhood I live in enjoys this and finds value in it.
You know, you came to our attention.
I did.
At first when neighbors of ours were calling and saying, have you been over on Petty J? Do you know what's happening over there? That person is taking out all of the grass, and what's going on? And our response was, we don't know, right? We haven't seen it, but we'll check and see what's going on. And so the typical response to that, of course, is we call codes and regulations and say, hey, what's happening there? And they came back and said, this is what's happening on that property, and there's a lot going on. And they mentioned that you were looking at a natural garden. And so we dug out the ordinance and were able to come back and look and say, hey, everything we envisioned when we created the ordinance back in 2022 is part of her vision.
I've always liked landscaping. You always get the thing like, oh, I could never do that. I don't have time to help the earth, or that's not something I can do myself, but this is something I can do myself. It's a matter of when I pick out a plant, look for the native plants. I really tried to capture the spirit of it. I think it was written in a way where you want to lean on your community and you want to get knowledge from other people who have already done it and already experienced things. So when I was reading the ordinance, it's very supportive. It's very honed in on all of the benefits that it can bring, capturing water runoff, increasing diversity in the species that we have.
And so as you started into this, right, and realized what you had undertaken, you started reaching out to other folks around in the community to get some sense of how do I pull this off, right? It's Mariah's organization that brought this to our attention, in 2022, and really did the background work to make all of this possible. So I'd like to invite Mariah into the conversation. When this was first introduced to us, I should say, it was brought to our attention that there were a lot of folks in town who were doing this kind of work in their backyards. And like Stephanie, they had used all of the space they had. They wanted more. And the only way to do that was to move into front yards. And that's where we first met, is in the conversation around, so how do we do that?
There is a lot of different reasons to use the front yard. We started native plant landscaping in some people's front yards, and some neighborhoods had no issues and others did. And this is when it came to our attention that there was still that antiquated 10-inch rule that had just kind of been stuck on the books. If you plant it with intention and you're going to care for it, that's something you should be able to put in your front yard despite the height.
And this is the result.
Yes, absolutely. And not only does it open up all these new species that we can have in our front yards, but it also opens up allowing us to use our topography in different ways. I'm sure you probably had standing water issues prior to this, it's just mitigating a lot of different issues that we see not only in urban but suburban areas.
And then there's a community benefit that comes too, right? And it's not often that you get a chance to stop and talk to a neighbor, right? But when you're out here doing what you're doing, it gives people a chance to actually stop and chat.
One of my neighbors tells me that I think you're doing more for me than you. Like, I love looking at your garden and watching the progress. I knew probably I would meet code enforcement when I started. I intentionally tried to plan my projects where I could get it done within a reasonable time. So it took me 6 days to dig this out. I worked hard to get it done so it's not in a complete state of disarray. It really put me in tune with everything, and when I walk around, I know exactly where I can step, where everything is. And so I was like, look, I don't want to cause problems. I want to make this look acceptable, and so my neighbors like it. So my big thing was weeding. I spent a lot of time weeding. My hands hurt. What I really need to do is make sure I have it in defined borders and keep noxious weeds out.
Fortunately, some of what you ran into was a good bit of the conversation that was had back in 2022 when we were considering this ordinance. It came to us with exactly the things that you're talking about, right? That we have so many invasive species, and what really is a lawn, and what should a lawn look like, right? And Metro government has been putting a lot of resources for some time now in trying to eradicate invasive species from our own properties. And so when we have an opportunity to support something like this, I think that gives us a good leg to stand on to say to our neighbors, hey, you know, this might be different than what they're used to, but look at it, first of all, it's beautiful. And I think more importantly, we're actually doing something that makes a difference, not tomorrow or next week, but 2 years and 4 years and 10 years from now. Our hope was that people would do the kinds of things you're doing, that it wouldn't be as simple as, hey, I'm gonna quit doing anything.
Traditionally, what we've kind of defined as value or property values is that perfect grass lawn, and I think we have expanded the value to the land of being different species, of being out in it, enjoying nature, and getting to have community with our neighbors out and about that we wouldn't traditionally have all the time with a grass lawn.
Well, I certainly appreciate the work you did.
Thank you.
To get the ordinance passed, and this is beautiful. Hope that folks see what you've done and aren't so overwhelmed that they might take this on, that more folks might decide, you know, this is something worthwhile. We also would want our, you know, our constituents to know, you don't have to do the whole yard. To me, this looks overwhelming. But if this is just too much, then, you know, pick a section, right? Do the research, find the native plants that work. It's a benefit to all of us. So I'm hoping that my constituents, folks who are watching, will recognize that this is an opportunity, one that takes a lot of work, but it's certainly worthwhile. So I appreciate you guys taking the time with me and sharing all of this. Folks have questions, they can reach out, 574-1111.
Metro TV was out on the street asking people, what is your favorite part of Thanksgiving?
What I like about Thanksgiving is just family, everybody just being together, just family.
My name is Dawn. I'm from Missouri, and my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is turkey. Smoked, roasted, fried, whatever. It's great.
My favorite thing about Thanksgiving is just getting with family, spending some time together, smashing some good food, and I don't know, just talking smack and having a good time.
It's a family thing. It's a family time period where you spend it with family. You know what I mean? You know, just stress the bonds and see people you ain't seen in a while and eat some good food while you're there. You know what I mean?
And my favorite part about Thanksgiving is being around family and loved ones and just making sure that everybody's together and it's a nice and happy time.
My favorite thing about Thanksgiving is something I didn't get to enjoy when I was younger, family. And my family's gone now, but the family I do claim means the world to me.
My favorite thing about Thanksgiving is being able to spend time with my family. All of us not having to worry about work. My twin niece and nephew coming over. My daughter, we play games, we do karaoke. It's just me, my mom, and my sister, and me and my sister's children. But that's my favorite part. Also the food, but the family is more important.
To purchase a vacant lot or property, you need to fill out an application with the Louisville Land Bank. If you are interested, please call the Office of Housing and Community Development. Their real estate coordinators will help guide you through every step of the process.
Thank you for watching. Please share Metro TV with your friends and ask them to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or X, and download our Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire TV apps. Have a wonderful week.